Congratulations, you finally made it beyond the waitlist. After more than a year of coding, we have created DJ Studio. It's a really cool software. It's very young, so there's no documentation yet. So please watch the whole video before you jump into the software. So, on our website DJ Studio, you press the login button. You can log in with one of your socials, and once logged in, you come into the studio. The studio opens on the library tab. Here is the library, and on the bottom is your playlist. It's really empty now, so the first thing we need to do is add some tracks. You can drag tracks in here, or you can select files. So I have a few files over here, and I'll drag them in. What we now do, we analyze the beats. We create a beat map, and we analyze the keys. So we also know in what key the song is. That's really important because we do a harmonic beat matching. So now you see a few songs in your library, and on the left you see also in your library on October the 14th the same files imported. These tracks, you can click them and you can listen to them, and you can preview really quick and see the song you're looking for. Especially when your library grows, this is really handy. And of course, you're able to give a rating to the tracks you have in here. If you like a track, you can just grab it and bring it to your playlist. You're also able to select multiple files and drag them over here, and they're in your playlist. The indication you see over here is the harmonic matching with the songs next to it. And if I drag a 2 over here, you will see that the 8 and 2 don't match. That's the cross. A minus and a plus are really next to your key. 2 pluses are 1 further away, and 3 pluses are 2 further away. So it's not better 3 pluses, but it's worse. And then we have the mood change, and there we go from a major to a minor in the same key. So if you select the song down here, you see the indication in your library changes. So whenever you want to add extra songs to your playlist, you can search for the right key. Once you have created your playlist over here, you can go to the studio. And here in this studio, you have an overview of your songs. They're in here already, lined up in track 1 and track 2. And you see at the end of the track, you see the so-called transition zone. And this transition, you can drag it over the music. It's now zooming in. And once you're zoomed in, you're able to set different transitions. So here you see a crossfade, but I could also make it into a fade in or a fade out. And I can do the same for the bass and for the filter. So if I want to do a fade out on the bass, it's over here, or I can do a bass swap. I will elaborate on that later. And when you click it over here, you can set the number of beats that you want the swap to have no bass at all. And that's also for the crossfade. If you say, hey, I want to have 25% fade in, and then I want to have them equally for 50% and then 25% out, you can arrange that over here. This mix view, I can zoom in and out by using my scroll wheel, or I can press the up key on my keyboard and I can press the down key. Just like in Ableton Live over here, you see the view of your track, and this is a fast index. You can click over here and go to this transition. So whatever you prefer. You can also grab the black space next to the songs and use this to swipe around. When you grab a transition and you put it somewhere and you see over here a fading out part of the track, that means that there is more track. As soon as I grab it, you see the whole track and you know there is more to drag on. Track is in here, but there is a lot of 3 pluses and there are 2 X's. So at the moment the track list is not harmonically ordered. We have a button over here called Auto Mix, and in Auto Mix you have a few features. These features are not working at the moment, but the idea is clear. Locking the first or the last track. If you have an intro and you have the last song of your mix, you want to lock them and you don't want them to automatically mix into your mix. Prioritizing key sorting means that we first look at the key and then at the BPM. If you switch this one off, we will first look at the BPM, and within the BPM we will sort as much as possible on key. With fuzzy key matching, we're able to pitch up or pitch down your song with 1 or 2 semitones, and with this magic we're able to always match songs in perfect harmony. And with the suggestion for missing tracks, if you don't have enough tracks and we have to step from a 2 key to a 7 key, we come up with a suggestion saying, hey, it would be wise to have a 4 and a 6 between these to have a good matching. For now, I just click the Auto Mix, and the Auto Mix takes a few seconds and it's done. And what you now see is that the crosses have disappeared. We start with low BPM and it goes up. And it has decided to put the 120 BPM over here because the key simply matches better. So now let's have a look at the first song. I can select the song here. Oh, by the way, if you want, you're able to drag it around, of course, yourself. If we go to the first song and I double click it, it starts playing. The playhead over here, you can click over here to skip through the song. You can also double click and then it will jump into the song as well. If you prefer to use the keyboard, the arrow up is zooming in and the arrow down is zooming out. When you want to move forward, you press the arrow to the right and you see I'm now skipping 4 beats. And if you want to go backward, you see I'm skipping backward. As you see, the music still sounds perfectly, because if you skip, we jump from beat 1 to the next section to beat 2, so that it always sounds good, your music. Some basic editing features. If you don't like this part of the song, you can simply grab it over here and press the delete button, and now okay, that was the say. We still need to have the say removed as well. That was this part. And you see, we now have a perfect cut in the mix, in the song. And of course, if you like this part over here and you want to copy it, you can simply mark the part, Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and you see you have a perfect copy, and this way you can extend the song really easy. It's just like playing with Word. So now the cool part of DJ Studio, and that's about transitions. So normally you can mix in and out at the end of a song, but that's too easy. So in this case, you see this is the outro of the song. I'll drag it over here and I'll start listening, and let's let's make it a bit more difficult. And this is just a simple transition, a crossfade, and it's doing well. You can press the back button to listen it again. But what I also can do is change it. But you know what? This one sounds actually pretty good. So I'm ready with the first transition, and I'll skip to the second transition, and that one's over here. So I'll put the playhead in here. Oh, playhead in here. And let's see. If you want to listen to the tracks separately, we have the S button, the solo button. So here you hear the first track. Pressing the S, you hear the second track, and again you hear them both. So with S you switch between the tracks. And let's move this over here and make it 16. Okay, well, let's play around with the bass. Maybe we could do a bass swap. So now you hear that we're switching from the bass in the first song to the second song. This is a little bit boring, so we could introduce a small gap by introducing a gap where we are simply missing the 2 beats. I think 4 beats will be better. Yes, that's better, much better. And let's have a fade out like this on the last part. Yes, much better. Okay, so we're ready with this transition. Let's go to the next one. And visually, I can already say that I want to have it over here. And let's make it a bit longer. Oh. And let's stay away from the boring part of the songs. And Devon, that's a 7B, and we go from 7 to 7. Oh, that's easy. Yeah, that's not interesting. So this one is done as well. The playhead is following, the music is following the playhead, and as soon as you put a cursor somewhere, the playhead is loose, so it allows you to zoom into another part of the music without looking at the playhead. If you want to go back to the playhead, you press the escape key and you're back at the playhead. And if you want to have the playhead with you, let's go over here and grab this music and let's make it at least 16 bars. And I guess this one is better off here. And let's have a swap without any fade. Okay, this is good. Now let's make a fade out 25%. So this is the idea of DJ Studio. You're really making a DJ mix in no time. Oh, here's a break. If you don't like the breaks, well, get rid of them. Mark it and it's gone. This is the basic function of DJ Studio. Next, when you have finished your mix, you want to share your mix with the world, of course. We have a share button over here, and in the share button you can press the recording, and recording is generating the mix. At the moment this recording is pretty slow. It uses 1/5 of the original time of your mix because we have a 2048 band equalizer going over your mix, and we're normalizing the volume for you as well. So that's taking a while. But let's say the recording is finished. If you can't wait, you can simply press the stop button and you see we have a file generated of 34 megabytes. We have a track list that you can download. We have the MP3 file that you can download. But we also made a connection to Mixcloud, and we're working on a connection to YouTube and even SoundCloud. On Mixcloud, I'm logged in with my DJ Studio account, and I call this my first DJ Studio mix. Yeah, we made it to the DJ world. And I can upload it to Mixcloud. And it's pretty fast. Mixcloud says you successfully uploaded your first mix, my first DJ Studio mix. So when I go to Mixcloud now, Mixcloud, and we go to my shows, it says you have an upload in progress, we are processing your audio, and your show should appear shortly. So we need to wait a little time. In the meantime, I can go back to the DJ Studio and show you other cool things. In the library, we have added tracks over here, and next to library is projects. This is where you save your projects. The first mix was just created. I can now select a new project, my second mix, and the second mix is a new project. You have an empty playlist, and you can start the process of creating your second mix, and you see them in here. So that's projects. For projects, my first mix over here, I'm able to duplicate it. If you want to make a copy, there is a lock in front of the project where you can lock it, preventing it from accidentally changes. But we also have an export button. With the export, when you click the export, it will generate my first mix zip file, and you see my first mix, and in there is the audio. Here are the audio files, and we have the metadata that we need for DJ Studio. This file, you can export it, hand it over to one of your friends or colleagues, and he can import it into the Mix Studio with this import button. So this is a way of getting it out of the browser and getting it into your browser. Let's see if Mixcloud is ready. No, it's Friday night, it's busy. Another thing we have is a Rekordbox integration. And that's really, really cool for you professional DJs out there. If you press the Rekordbox button, we have an option for you to download the DJ Studio app for Mac or for Windows. The DJ Studio app is installed on your local computer, but behaves exactly the same as the website. With one big difference: the website is not allowed to get access to your Rekordbox environment, but the local application does. So what you need to do over here, you press the download for macOS button. You see the application is downloading. You click the application, you drag it to applications, and it is installed in your applications now. If you have a look here in applications, you see I just installed DJ Studio. When I started, I'll run into an issue. At the moment, we didn't sign our DJ Studio app yet, and macOS doesn't allow you to run this application. What you can do, you can go to the system preferences, and in system preferences you select security and privacy, and in there is a question: DJ Studio app was blocked from use because it is not from an identified developer. If you say over here open anyway and you start the application again, it now says, do you want to open the application? So remember, first time, security and settings, and allow us access for the first time. So the application is starting, and the application also asks you to log in to your account. And I'm logged in to my account. And you see the mix that I created. There's only one little difference. As I promised you, when we go to library and we go to Rekordbox, you see my Rekordbox songs in here. Let me show you my Rekordbox environment. Here I have my Rekordbox, and let's create a playlist in here. My demo playlist, and let's find some tracks. I like Betsy Larkin, and Betsy has some songs that I'd like to put in this playlist. And another favorite, of course, is Boris Brejcha, and let's grab a few of his songs in here and put it in a demo playlist as well. When I go to the DJ Studio and I'll switch to the Rekordbox, you see my demo playlist that I just created, and in here are the songs. So all the playlists are in here, and you see Betsy Larkin, and you see the key that it's played in, and you see the beats per minute. And now I'm able to add Betsy Larkin to the mix, and I have the Boris Brejcha, Keep on Rolling, and the house music, and they are somewhere in here. Keep on Rolling, here we go. So in my DJ Studio mix, I now have Keep on Rolling. It's from a 1A to a 1B, so that should be fine. And let's make it a bit more interesting over here. And here we are. I just mixed a song that I got straight from Rekordbox. So for everybody with Rekordbox out there, this is cool. And of course, you can search here for Boris Brejcha, and it will search your whole library with every Boris in there. Oops, almost Boris. Yes, and here are all the Boris Brejchas. Last thing, really important. If you press this little man over here, that's your account. You can log out and you can go to settings. If you run into performance issues, we have three options for you. We have the buffers. These buffers, you can set them to low, medium or high. This is for our MIDI support, but at the current moment we didn't release the MIDI support. So if you put this on high, there's no issue with your audio. Then we have the frame rate. You can set it to high, it will switch automatically to the frame rate you use. I have an Android tablet and it's putting it on 120 frames a second and it's Retina and it's too much for the tablet. So in that case you can switch it to medium or to low, or you can simply switch off your Retina setting. So remember, this is an important part. If you run into any issues, go over here. So now you've seen all of DJ Studio. I really hope that you're able to make cool mixes with it, and please share your feedback with us. Oh, before I forget, how about Mixcloud? Ah, Mixcloud is ready. My first DJ Studio mix. Let's have a listen. Wow. So here we go from running to somebody to love. It's in there. My track list is in here. I didn't need to type anything. I'm ready to conquer the world with my next mix. Woohoo!